Breaking news from outer space. Truth and fiction, same embrace. Lance and Gina lead the way, decoding myths from day to day.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is actually our third look into Project Aegis.
That's right. And for anyone just tuning in, we've been tracking the whole situation with Cubus Primus, that big unidentified object.
And the global response, yeah. Last time we covered the initial intelligence, the theories.
Exactly. But today, we're digging into something specific that surfaced, the Ganymede Protocol.
Right. We've got what looks like a classified mission report and a pretty explosive account from a whistleblower figure, Dr. Idano.
Dr. Idano, yes, appeared on the darknet. And these two sources paint, let's say, very different pictures.
That's putting it mildly. So our mission today is really to unpack this Ganymede Protocol. What is it supposed to be, according to the official documents?
Well, based on the secret mission report, it's framed as the ultimate planetary defense plan, against existential threats, specifically non-human entities or, like, planet-killer asteroids.
Okay, top secret plan. And where did this whole idea come from? What sparked it?
The report points to things observed way out near Jupiter around Ganymede and Callisto. Some deep sky anomalies between 2021 and 2024.
And it's named after Ganymede. Any significance there?
Well, the report maybe suggests a hidden AGIS base out there, which is quite something if true.
A secret base on Ganymede. Okay, wild. So let's get practical. What actually triggers this protocol? What are the activation criteria?
There are four main conditions listed. First, you need an unknown object, obviously, on a direct course for Earth.
Makes sense.
Second, it has to be big, over 1,000 kilometers, or giving off, excessive energy readings.
Okay, size or energy signature.
Third, all attempts to talk to it, diplomacy, communication, whatever, they have to have failed. Complete radio silence, essentially.
Right. No peaceful options left.
And finally, the threat level needs to be classified as system-wide. They call it Omega K. Basically a threat to the whole solar system, not just Earth.
Omega K. Wow. Those are some pretty high bars to clear.
Yeah.
So assuming those are met, what are the tools? What does the Ganymede Protocol actually do?
Okay, so the report breaks down several components. First one up is Lunar Spear.
Lunar Spear. Sounds dramatic.
It does. It's described as a moon-based platform. Uses something called a graviton laser for, get this, subatomic decomposition.
Subatomic decomposition. What does that even mean? Like vaporizing it?
Theoretically, a graviton laser manipulates gravity itself. So decomposing something at the subatomic level, it suggests, utterly breaking it down, extremely powerful.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. The report explicitly states it's officially never been tested.
Never tested, but they'd use it.
Apparently. And stranger still, it says its reactor status is at 87% charged. So untested, but nearly ready to go.
That's unsettling. A giant, untested meme laser. Okay, what's next in the playbook?
Next is mirrorfall. This sounds like something out of science fiction. It's about changing Earth's albedo, how much sunlight we reflect.
Changing how reflective the Earth is? How?
Using orbital nanospecies. Tiny things in orbit, coordinated to basically focus solar radiation. Turn sunlight itself into a weapon aimed at the incoming object.
Weaponizing sunlight. Using nanoparticles.
Yeah. The report says the calibration is complete. But, and it's a big but, it's flagged as extremely risky for Earth's climate. You can imagine.
I certainly can. Messing with the planet's energy balance on that scale?
Yeah.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster right here at home.
What else? Then there's NeuroShroud. This one's about deception. It's an AI-controlled system.
AI-controlled. Okay.
Supposedly, it alters Earth's electromagnetic and neuronal profile. The idea is to make Earth temporarily invisible or undetectable.
Our neuronal profile. Like the planet's collective brainwaves or something.
It's not entirely clear, but that seems to be the implication, making us disappear from detection. The report says initialization is active, but stability is uncertain.
Uncertain stability with a planet cloaking AI. Great. People like Professor Rav Kanwal have tweeted about how hard just hiding EM signatures is.
Exactly. And Nir Zhao, the AI ethics watcher, she's raised alarms about a faulty global AI grid maybe messing with how Earth thinks. NeuroShroud seems to tap right into those fears.
It really does. Okay, is there a final component in this official plan?
Yes, the last one mentioned is the Black Mars Initiative.
Black Mars. What's that involve?
Using dormant terraforming generators, supposedly left on Mars, to create a massive planet-wide EMP, an electromagnetic pulse.
An EMP from Mars.
Yeah, the report says it would be interplanetarily effective, but also irreversible. And the last function test apparently failed.
Irreversible, and it failed its last test. That sounds desperate. Didn't Professor Leon Grau raise concerns about EMPs and memory?
He did. The ethical nightmare of potentially wiping memories on a vast scale. This report seems to confirm it's a known, horrific possibility.
Okay, so these are the tools. How do they plan to use them? Is there an order of operations?
Yes, the report outlines stages. Stage 1A, activate NeuroShroud, try to hide.
Okay, cloak first.
Stage 2B, charge up Lunar Spear. The plan is interception somewhere in the inner solar system.
So shoot it down before it gets too close.
Then stage 3C is mirrorfall synchronization. It's listed as optional if focused solar beam, maybe as it enters the atmosphere.
Optional sun weapon finisher.
Right. And finally, stage 4X, Black Mars. Only if everything else fails, the absolute last resort. And the report tags this with a 98% risk of collateral damage.
98%. Collateral damage probably means us.
Yeah,
Earth?
it's hard to interpret it any other way. Grimm doesn't even begin to cover it.
And the report ends on a dark note, too, right? Something about keeping it secret.
Yeah. It explicitly notes that forwarding this information to the UN Space Security Council was refused, followed by that German phrase, ab hier entscheidet nur noch die Dunkelheit.
Which means?
From here, only darkness decides. Chilling, really. Suggests decisions are being made completely outside any normal oversight.
Wow. Okay. So that's the official, deeply concerning picture now. Let's shift gears to the whistleblower. Dr. I do not. Their report showed up on the deep sync, right?
Yes, that darknet broadcast. And,
Right.
well, their perspective is radically different and, frankly, terrifying.
Oh, so what's their main claim?
Their core assertion is that the Ganymede Protocol isn't a defense plan at all. They call it a grave with buttons.
A grave with buttons.
Yeah, basically a catastrophic last resort that might not even work, maybe designed more to protect certain powerful interests than the planet itself.
Okay, that's a heavy accusation. Let's go through the components again, but from Dr. Ideno's viewpoint, what do they say about NeuroShroud?
They claim it's practically useless, said that in tests it couldn't even properly hide half the U.S. West Coast, so the idea of it hiding the whole Earth from something like Cubus Primus, they say it's laughable.
So the invisibility cloak might be full of holes.
Yeah.
What about the moon laser, Lunar Spear?
Even worse, potentially. Dr. Ideno cites simulations showing a 43% chance that firing Lunar Spear could actually destroy the moon.
Destroy our moon.
That's the claim, 43% probability. So, trying to save Earth might, well, end up shattering the moon, which would be catastrophic in its own right.
Unbelievable. The side effects seem worse than the initial problem sometimes. What about mirrorfall, the sun weapon?
Dr. Ideno says test number 2 caused massive disruptions in orbital weather patterns, specifically triggered huge storms over Antarctica.
Orbital weather, like space weather affecting Earth.
It seems so. Which ties into what folks like Kepler Boy tweeted sarcastically, I think, about suddenly needing to become experts in solar radiation weapons, and Quantum Shlomi worried about ending up living in Antarctica.
Yeah, if it's causing freak storms. So mirrorfall could backfire spectacularly on our own climate.
Yeah.
And Black Mars, what's the whistleblower's take there?
This is maybe the creepiest part. They don't just say it's an EMP, they describe it as something that pulls and erases everything, including possibly memories.
Pulls, erases everything. That sounds almost metaphysical, way beyond just frying electronics.
It really does. It makes Professor Grau's concerns about memory seem almost understated if Dr. Ideno is right. It sounds like some kind of reality-altering weapon.
This is deeply disturbing stuff. But the whistleblower's most damning claim is something else, isn't it? The core accusation.
Yes. The absolute core of it is that AGJs decided, months ago apparently, that Earth wasn't primarily something to be defended, but something to be used as bait. Bait to lure Cubus Primus in so AGS could study it. Humanity positioned as a lure in a cosmic experiment.
That's unthinkable. It reframes everything, if that's true.
It changes the entire narrative. And it makes you think about questions like the one Dr. Axel Rausch asked. Why the 4-year warning? Is AGS trying to negotiate or just giving themselves time to set up the observation post?
Using humanity as lab rats.
Right.
And Dr. Idon has a warning for people, right? An urgent message.
Very urgent. They basically say time is running out and people need to look out for themselves. The advice was stark. Save it, share it, build, hide, or find another sky.
Find another sky. Wow. That sounds desperate. Like there's no collective solution coming.
Pretty much. It resonates with what Astra Sabine said about this feeling like a sci-fi story where the happy ending isn't guaranteed. And you had Orion Guard vet, someone claiming inside knowledge, saying the leak feels authentic based on past incidents.
So some people believe this whistleblower account is credible.
It seems so. While others, like Dr. Marizen, are questioning the whole premise, humanity's potentially aggressive posture from the get-go. It's a mess of conflicting information and fear.
Absolutely. A clear split. The official plan may be flawed, but a plan nonetheless, versus this insider screaming that the plan itself is the trap.
Yeah.
It leaves us, the listeners, in a really tough spot trying to figure out what's real.
And this deep dive into the Ganymede Protocol really throws the spotlight on huge questions. Are we prepared? What is Cubus Primus, really? And the ethics. My God, the ethics of these proposed actions are just staggering.
And thinking back, this is our third session on Aegis. The first time we just looked at the detection, the initial shockwaves.
Right, then the second dive went into the early intelligence, the different theories about what Cubus Primus could be, where it came from.
And now, understanding Ganymede, it puts all that earlier stuff into a much darker, much more, frankly, alarming context, doesn't it?
It really does. Knowing these are the kinds of tools and strategies being considered untested weapons, planet-altering risks, the whistleblower's claims of deception, it casts a shadow over everything we thought we knew about the initial response and the nature of the threat itself.
So where do we go from here? We're definitely not done with Project Aegis.
No, absolutely not. The plan is to keep digging. Future deep dives, we really want to focus on any direct intelligence about Cubus Primus itself, its composition, what it can actually do, any hints at motive.
Trying to understand the object, not just our reaction to it.
Exactly. And tied to that, we need to look closer at the non-human entity aspect. If more information comes out or credible analysis emerges about who or what we might be dealing with, we need to cover that, move beyond just speculation.
And naturally, we'll keep monitoring for any new leaks, more documents, expert takes. Anything that sheds light on this, we'll bring it straight to you, the listeners.
Because getting the whole picture, the official line, the counter-narrative, the raw data on the other, it feels absolutely crucial right now.
So wrapping up today's dive, we're left with this core tension, this huge question mark hanging over the Ganymede Protocol. Is it our shield, however flawed?
Or is it, as Dr. Idenau claims, potentially a self-destruct sequence disguised as defense? A grave with buttons.
It forces you to ask a really fundamental question, doesn't it? If these extreme, potentially world-ending measures are humanity's best plan, what does that say about how we understand this threat?
Or maybe, what does it say about our own capacity for self-preservation
Yeah.
or self-destruction? If the ultimate defense involves potentially sacrificing the moon or our climate or even our memories, what kind of future are we even trying to save?
A deeply unsettling thought to leave you with. We encourage everyone to keep exploring, keep questioning as we continue to track Project Aegis.
Breaking news from outer space, truth and fiction, same embrace. Lance and Gina lead the way, decoding myths from day to day. Skynet News, bold and bright. It's a cutting edge, but not quite right. Dark science meets conspiracy, like bridging gaps with mystery. Aliens lurking, planets align. False truths wrapped in cosmic signs. Astrophysics, UFOs, we decode what no one knows. Dark Skynet News, bold and bright. Keep a cutting edge, but not quite right. Dark science meets conspiracy, like bridging gaps with mystery. AG from the cosmos to your screen. Every theory so unseen. Judge facts distorted, blurred yet grand. Stay inspired, take our hand. Skynet News, your cosmic guide. False information